Good afternoon, traders. It is Wednesday, October 14th, 2015, and the U.S. stock market is closed. Today was another one of those days that you really didn't make money, but I considered it a good day, which I will explain in a bit. The Dow obviously is having a lot of trouble with this resistance area that I keep talking about, and today it really sold off down 157 points. It was pretty healthy sell-off, I would say. This is nothing to be too concerned about. It just got up here. It couldn't get through this, really penetrate and hold above this fourth line I keep talking about, and so it sold off pretty hard. And I actually think this is pretty healthy, and I'm gonna be perverse a little and contrarian, and I'm calling it up for tomorrow. I think it's kind of at the end of this latest mini sell-off, and it will go higher, and hopefully this time it can go up here and penetrate these four red lines and get above it. That's really what I want to see happening. I said it was not a bad day today, because the most disappointing part about the day was we had about negative $3,000-4,000 open trade yesterday on the close, and right on the open that actually went positive. It looked real good, and you can see here the Dow did move up right on the open, but promptly failed here and then sold off pretty strongly and kept that selling all day long. So it ended up down 157. But anyway, our open trade equity went positive right on the open, but by the time we got out, unfortunately, we ended up closing out negative $6,000. That's the bad news. The good news is that we're actually carrying positive $5,000 going into tomorrow. So we basically offset our losses with our new trades that we took today. Even we got into 7 positions. Only 3 are positive, 4 are negative, but those 3 positions, which I will show you, are all pretty darn good. So we end up with profits, open trade profits on the close, which looks real good. And my thinking on this, hey, if the Dow sells off 157 points and we're able to basically break even, hey, we're going to do really good when this thing catches fire, and it could catch fire. Now it's pulled back a little. I think it's ready for another run at the top here, so I'm pretty pleased about today. Overall, I'm pleased. I'll show you some of the stuff that happened today. This first one is really kind of interesting. This is ICE, which is Second Sight Corporation, and we had got into this trade yesterday, bought the high tick of the day, and it just sold off all day. Just terrible trade. Then the darn thing pops up here really powerfully right on the open. It would have been nice to have gotten out right there. We would have done really fine with that, but no, it's got to come back and stop us out down here. We took a $3,000 loss on this. That hurt. And then it goes a little bit lower, but then it turns around and starts moving higher, and we get re-entered into this, which is kind of unusual. Take a big loss like that and then get a re-entry buy is fairly unusual, but this thing just kept going, and pulled back just a little at the end, but we are still holding over $3,000 in profits in open trade. So the open trade made up for the closeout trade. So that's real good. I'd like to see that more often. So I'm pretty hopeful for this trade tomorrow. I'll show you another decent one here. This is Siboney Gold, and we've been getting a lot of trades in Siboney Gold, and they're all been good, really good. Big gap up here this morning. We got a little bit of pullback, got in, and it just kept going and never looked back, and we're up over $2,000 in Siboney Gold, so that's really good. And then the big one today is one we haven't seen in a while. This is TripAdvisor's. I haven't looked into the news here, but there must have, this may have been an earnings report that came out. But this thing just gapped massively this morning. We waited and bought the dip, but still, look what we're doing. We're buying this huge, huge gap. But it, after coming back against us just a little bit right at the beginning, it took off and kept moving, and we're holding. You know, the perspective on this chart is a little distorted because of the huge gap, but we're holding positive over $4,000 on TripAdvisor's, and this thing closed like up 28% or something like that. It's really really had a big move today, and I just hope that it keeps going tomorrow. I'm not really too worried about that. This thing just really acted very stable. Didn't see much selling at all today, so great trade in TripAdvisor's. So not a bad day, and I hope things go better tomorrow. I hope this Dow can turn around tomorrow. I'm predicting it will. This is Trader Bob signing off. See you back here online on Thursday.